Hi guys, it's Mr. Sean. Did you know that over half the people that watch this channel aren't subscribed yet? Did you also know that subscribing is the best and easiest way to help this channel? Please help me get to my goal this year of 1,000 subscribers. It's just a little click for you, but it means an awful lot to me. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
Why would most men settle for a female that has slept with multiple men? I personally could not spend the rest of my life with somebody if I know another man was inside my wife. Fuck that.
Welcome back to Chimera Miniatures, everybody. I hope you all had an amazing Mother's Day. How does one become a mother, might you ask? Well, of course, the answer is fucking. And of course, we're going to talk today about a group that just can't seem to do as much of that as they'd like to. That, of course, are the incels. If this is your first day on the internet, then, well, incels are involuntary celibates. People who just can't seem to get laid and are a little pissed about it. Now, of course, before people start up the angry comments, no, we're not making fun of virgins. Not all incels are virgins, and not all virgins are incels. Incel is more of an attitude, where it's women's fault for the fact that you're not getting laid, and because getting laid is what you base your entire personality on, you have decided to classify your entire personality as an involuntary celibate, aka an incel. This usually comes along with very negative feelings towards the opposite gender, and just overall anger at anybody who's getting what you aren't. It's actually quite sad, and you know what? Let's dive into it. Saw my crush hold hands with a guy shorter than me. Put me in the body of a regular guy, 6 out of 10 white men. My life would be the dream of every single person I know. I am living the dream. Fuck, I don't even have to work. If I could, I'd neat until death. The only reason I'm doing what I do is because I'm too high IQ to IDAR. Girls don't straight run away when I speak to them, but I've never ever in my life gotten a single hint of interest, any sign, a smallest one even. I've always been treated like air, and a loser you speak to when you need a loser to exploit. My experience with jobs is degrading. Chads with less experience than me don't even look for jobs. They get them through their networks. A Chad who doesn't even speak will have 150 contacts on his LinkedIn. I'm getting fucked in the ass with passion by a big black, nope, not gonna say that. And everybody is expecting me to gape it for society's sake. So bro, you're telling me that you have such a high IQ and that you work even though you don't have to, economically speaking, but you can't like use that time and resources that you have to, I don't know, do something with it so that you can, you know, live the life you want to live because you're so high IQ? No, I think you're a little bitch who complains on the internet. Also, I'm so tired of people talking about being height cells, okay? Like, yes, there are women out there who won't get with you if you're a certain level of short, but that's a very small percentage, and most people don't give two fucks how tall you are. And I know, thank God I'm not monetized yet, because the amount of times I've dropped the F-bomb the first 3 minutes in, you know, definitely not, this video would not get monetized. But hey, let's have some fun with it now. You know, for society's sake. I don't find Ukrainian servicewomen to be impressive, since the only reason they even get any kills is because they're hot. Ukrainian servicewomen make themselves as attractive as possible by using makeup and other products so they can distract Russian soldiers with their beauty, which makes killing them easier. My Russian friend named Conrad, who's in the Russian military, told me that on January 21st, 2024, he and his brother named Anatoly came across Valentina, a 19-year-old Ukrainian woman soldier known as Demon, which is her call sign. She had an AK-47 while both of them had pistols. Conrad and Anatoly put their pistols down and smiled at each other because she's very hot. She then shot Conrad in the legs and gunned down Anatoly. Conrad survived because he was only shot in the legs, but Anatoly did not. Anatoly won't be the first nor last Russian soldier to die because a Ukrainian servicewoman distracted him with her looks. What the hell did I just read? Now, I don't know for certain if Ukrainian servicewomen are dolling themselves up to get an edge on the Russian military soldiers, but if Russian soldiers are such gooners that they will, in the heat of battle, will like put their pistols down and be like, oh my god, she's so hot, they deserve to get, that happen to them. This is war, son. Like, whatever you can do to get an advantage over the enemy, do it, alright? Like, if for some reason, like, making yourself look, like, real frumpy and all that, was the best way to get an advantage against the Russians, I'd do that. Like, just like, I don't know, have the women in the Russian military thought about doing that against the Ukrainian men? I don't know. I think this post is complete BS, but it's like, who cares? Who cares if they make themselves hot? If it's winning them the war, then go for it. War never changes, my dude. Here we have a convo between an incel and, I guess, a normie. Right. How dare I actually have a standard, as I said. Like, come on, brah. It's obvious that you are literally either a simp or a fat whore who realizes not every hetero dude is a desperate coomer. Right, am I the entitled one? Not you, who whines that your life sucks more than an average male because you broke your nail or have period pain, which is on a monthly basis, and you call me the projecting one? Ironic. And that love part, Lamau, love isn't real, and cope harder that a pussy is a pussy. That's a lot of cope, bruh. Couldn't have said it better myself. And look, guys, if you decide to get on the internet with anybody and try to have the whose life is harder argument, nobody wins.
Seeing my female friends get poisoned by transgenderism, going from happy, healthy people to self-destructive, depressed, bitter, hollowed-out shells of who they used to be.
Which was apparently the response to who/what radicalized you from Christendom Recruiter. So I might be reading too much into this, but what I read from this is that I have a girl that I wanted to fuck, essentially, that I wanted to sleep with. And then this girl realized that she was a he and is now living life as a he, and I can't be attracted to the he because that would make me gay. And so I now hate all gay and trans people because I couldn't get my nut off in someone I wanted to get my nut off in, and that is why I'm now radicalized. Get a hobby, bro. The word misogyny is overused and has practically lost its meaning. This article is about schoolboys who made a list rating girls in attractiveness. The boys were suspended for the list. The list starts at wifeys and ends at unrapable. The thing is, the former is about a man dedicating their lives towards women, and the other is about not committing sexual violence against them. How is either misogynistic? I feel like that word is just another buzzword at this point.
Haha, boys will be boys, man. And that is what me and my friends would have done in middle/high school, lol. Anyway, to be sure to add Nazi, fascist, racist, and homophobe, transphobe to the list.
So on first glance, I hate to say it, I almost agreed with these incels until I remembered that it wasn't just, there's nothing wrong with rating people on their attractiveness, okay? Like, that is okay. It's definitely not the only thing you should rate people on, but it's a starting point. I mean, we see with our eyes first. It's basically the sense that humans use more than anything else. But here's where it gets wrong, okay? There's nothing wrong with putting people in wifey tier. But then when the bottom tier is unrapable, which also indicates that at some point there'd be a tier considered rapable, I suppose. Again, thank God this video is not monetized. But the idea that it's not just that you're boiling them down to attractiveness, but it's literally using that phrase, and supposedly the other one, I would assume, at least would come up in conversation, about a list of your contemporaries. The fact that these are people you go to school with every day, and you would use the term unrapable, or even rapable, about them, that definitely deserves a suspension, because that is dehumanizing, it is insulting, it goes beyond just going, hey, do you think this girl's hot or not? It's making light of a situation, because again, rape is not about sex, it's about power. And so to demean women into the sum of their physical parts and to use that language, that definitely, at the very least, when I was a kid, at least in middle school, there was lunch detentions, there was after school detentions. In high school, I believe there was only after school detentions. I don't know, I never got one. I got a few lunch detentions and one after school in middle school, but nothing in high school. But no, the fact of the matter is some punishment needed to happen. I don't know. Schools might only do suspensions, either in or out of school anymore. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the modern state of the schools. But no, something needed to be done. These kids needed to be punished because that behavior, that's where it starts. It gets worse. So, we've talked about this one enough, but again, just words do matter, guys. Words are not empty or just words, as language is how we portray our beliefs and ideals and what we stand for to the world. And the language of these children was concerning.
Most men have horrible taste in women. We are superior to them and have better thinking. Why would most men settle for a female that has slept with multiple men? I personally could not spend the rest of my life with somebody if I know another man was inside my wife. Fuck that. Why would most men settle for a female that argues with them and makes the man do the dishes and housework? That's bullshit. Back in the old days, the men came home and got treated like kings, not slaves. I don't want to spend my life doing dishes and cleaning up. Why would most men settle for a female that's average looking when they can go to a poor country and get a 10 out of 10? Me personally, if I'm going to spend the rest of my life with someone, she better be hot AF, not mediocre. Honestly, while most people laugh at passport bros, we should be laughing at them. We are superior to them. We get better looking women, more submissive women, young women, and virgins, not you sluts. So if anyone laughs at me, I'll just tell them, okay buddy, enjoy your used, old, ugly wife while you do the dishes. Loser!
Again, guys, I've said this in just about every one of these videos we've done. There is nothing wrong with having standards. If you're looking for a certain look, a certain personality type, whatever, that is whatever floats your scrot, my dudes. But let's look at this, guys, and make fun of him. If you can't fathom the idea of being with a woman who slept with other people, it's because you're so insecure that you think that any other guy she could have possibly slept with will be better than you are. Demanding a virgin just shows insecurity. Not being able to be with any woman other than a completely submissive one shows that you have control issues. Don't want to spend your life doing the dishes and cleaning up? Well, then, maybe you should move back in with your mommy and let your mommy clean up after you. I don't like doing dishes either, but neither does my wife, so we've compromised. She handles other chores while I handle doing the dishes because she hates doing them way more than I hate doing them, and there's chores that she does that I don't want to do. Wanting a completely submissive wife just shows that you don't want a partner, you want a bang maid that will take care of you. Basically, you want a robot-made mommy sex doll, and that's weird. Wanting to go to a poor country to find a woman who fits your 10 out of 10 standards and is, willing to put up with all of you because you're an American who can bring her to America, well, that just shows you're not willing to work on yourself and you just want to throw money at your problems. And basically, it's the Mike Birbiglia joke. I need a woman who loves me for my money but doesn't understand math. Again, you can get a 10 out of 10 in your own country if you're just willing to work on yourself. Or you could say fuck it and go get a sex bride from another country. And then there's the final that you can't take even the littlest bit of criticism and will then tell anybody who isn't doing exactly what you do and has made any kind of judgment about your behavior that they've settled for an old, used up, ugly wife that makes them do the dishes, and you call them a loser. It's because deep down, sir, you know that you are the loser. But hey, cope is always better than rope, so do what you gotta do, I guess. Why do normies still think sex is not a basic need? Every human being needs to have sex. It's the same as eating. And so this statement is coming from a guy who, at the time of joining, which was this year, is claiming by his username to be a 27-year-old incel. Well, let me tell you, buddy, as a guy who didn't get laid until I was 30, as a certified wizard, you absolutely don't need sex to survive. But I'll tell you what, man, if I go a couple days without eating, that's not going to be good. I went 30 years without having sex, so you know what? False. Romance is a social construct invented by poets in the 1700s. Women are genetically lizard brain attracted to genetically, physically superior men. Men are lizard brain to spread seed far and wide. That's it. There is no more. Whatever the current T-social construct is, deemed important, is just attached to men that women are attracted to. He is so funny and so kind. Probably not, but then we'll attach those attributes to a man they are attracted to. This confused men who actually aspire to those attributes. It doesn't matter. I feel like we're all dumber for having listened to me read that. I know that I'm definitely dumber for narrating it. But again, guys, the perfect example of this being false is my own marriage. You know, people were surprised when they saw that I was the guy my wife was with. She was traditionally attracted to guys that were more of like a metalhead look, had tattoos, you know, the more like metalhead, punk, whatever. And I'm a happy-go-lucky piece of white bread that wears Hawaiian shirts all the time. Definitely did not look like her basic type, but you know what? It was a personality thing. Now, I will say, her look, 100% my type, so you know. But you find people where you find them. You are attracted to what you are attracted to, and it's not lizard brain. It goes so much deeper than that in who you fall in love with. And unfortunately, I feel like this guy has just decided that romance isn't real because it's, you know, easier to cope. Now this next one, I don't really know what the first comment is talking about. It just simply says, you know, I've tried doing that before actually, but eventually I'll meet females and that triggers the crippling depression. But this response is fucking twisted. I was walking on a trail in the middle of nowhere, and when I was a mile deep into the trail, I saw some random foy jogging there. Luckily for her, I'm not bad, because nobody else was around for a mile in any direction. I can't even go on a hike on an isolated trail without seeing what I will never have. First of all, I guess people like this just never want to have to encounter women in the real world, but also this constant, well, it's a good thing I'm not bad, means you're already worse than a lot of us, because a lot of us, if we were out by ourselves on a trail, saw a woman jogging, what you just said, thank God I'm not bad about, what that's referencing, which he's talking about rape, of course, none of that wouldn't cross most of our minds, all right? Like just, hey, look, a jogger, and then you go on your way. In your mind, you've now like patted yourself on the back for not committing a horrible crime against another human being. And, you know, that's probably, that attitude probably is why you're still single and an incel. Here we have a PSA of a woman looking a little rough, and it just says, PSA, ladies, he will never change, even if you are carrying his child. And that's unfortunate. That's really sad that someone would do this to their partner, especially one carrying their child. But that's not why it's in this video. It's the person who posted it on r/foreveralonejerk posted in response to this as a title, "Love to See It." And that's just fucked up. This guy doesn't know this girl, doesn't know the situation, doesn't know the guy she's with, but, you know, anybody could post a picture of a woman who has experienced domestic violence and go love to see it, well, you're better off an incel. And now we have Attack of the Robot Waifus. Sandman MGTOW goes, the sooner we replace them, the sooner we gain freedom. And the response to that being, the entitlement bubble of Western females is about to pop. Because, well, somebody in some factory somewhere, or I guess some lab, is designing robot women. I mean, guys, if you're willing to settle for a tin clunge attached to a body that moves around and pretends to love you, I guess that's fine, but I don't think robots are ever going to replace the real thing. Just make sure you get the upgraded model so that it vibrates. And finally, we have a question. Straight people of Reddit, why do you like the other gender?
I suppose instincts. It's hard to rationalize a reason to like people that overwhelmingly see me as a disgusting freak because I am 5'7".
Wait, are you serious? Lol, 5'7" is a perfectly normal height.
In theory, yes, but go ahead and ask women if they would date a 5'7" guy, and you will quickly find out that there are no circumstances most of them would do so.
These short king posts, these not even short king, these short beggar posts are always so funny to me because I'm 5'8", which I think is it wavers between being average height and like an inch below average height, and then this guy is complaining to me about being 5'7", which is an inch shorter than I am. And yet I have known guys who are 5'5", 5'3", 5 foot who had a way easier time getting laid than I ever did. Again, like I said, certified wizard, took me 30 years, and there were guys way shorter than I was just cleaning up in their 20s, even in high school. So, I feel like what's going on here is that this 5'7" dude has a lot of personality issues, but people always try to be like, oh yeah, it's because you're short, because he's not willing to listen when people tell him about all of his personality hangups that are why he's still single and not getting laid. Like, dude, if you're even tall women, sometimes tall women want a monkey to climb them like a fucking tree, all right? But like, whatever you've got going on in your brain is basically the reason, as much more likely than opposed to your height deficiency as you see it. I mean, at 5'7", you're still taller than the majority of women, so you won't appear all that short to them. So clearly the issue is you, not your height. And that's the video, guys. Alright, thank you so much for tuning in. I do hope you enjoyed this content. It's been a minute since I've made one of these videos. They were kind of blowing up for a second, and then interest kind of died off, so maybe now that, I haven't done one in a while, maybe this one will get to 3,000, because a month or two ago, one of my incel tier videos was the first of my videos to get to 2,000 views. But hey, just remember, guys, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Please leave a like, please leave a comment. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. We're about halfway through the month at this point, but remember, if we get to 800 subscribers before the end of the month, I will do not one, but 2 giveaways. So, until next time, I'm Mr. Sean, this is Chimera Miniatures, and I sincerely hope that you find the girl who loves short kings of your dreams, and that you alpha a great day and an even beta tomorrow. Bye-bye!